Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. I'm your host, Dewey Bear, and joining me today is, as always, the lovely, the red, the... I run out of adjectives.
Vivacious.
Vivacious, yes, vivacious. Roti Pie. Yeah, that's a good one. I have an idea of what I'm going to say, and then, I just lose it. You dazzle me, Roti Pie, that's why.
Oh, thank you.
Dazzling. And joining us today, she's back! Happy Kitty! Yay. Welcome back.
Yay!
Well, I'm happy that you're happy that I'm here. I had a lot of fun last time, and I consider it a great honor to be welcomed back, especially so soon.
It's awesome.
Who did you guys lie to tell that I'm nice?
You're just so good, and we thought, the three of us going through the games for this works really well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we like having you on.
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you so much.
Each guest has their own flow, and just some flows work fantastically. So yeah,
I get that. I do.
Alrighty, so but let's just get right on into it. What have y'all been playing this last week? Roti Pie, you ready?
Yeah, but I thought maybe Kitty would like to go first.
Kitty, are you ready?
Sure.
Cool, go ahead. What have you been up to this last week?
I kind of finished Portal April early. I ran through Portal 2, and Aperture Tag, which was a lot of fun. And I got my first PB on Portal ever. It was sub 120, which actually isn't that far from world record. So I might think about picking up a speed run for Portal, which would be interesting.
Nice.
We were supposed to get back to our Pathfinder sessions, but we had to delay it another week, so hopefully we'll be picking that up again next Thursday. Other than that, it's been real quiet for me. I'm getting ready for summer break to start, and hopefully I can get on a regular schedule again for streaming.
And since you just finished Portal, I have to recommend Portal Stories Mel. It is a free mod. Have you played it?
I have not, but I've heard a lot about it. I've actually been looking for it because I can't find it. And I've also been looking for the mod that has to do with Cave Johnson, with him talking to evil Cave Johnson, because I just find that hilarious. I've seen a couple of playthroughs. I can't find the mod though, so if anybody knows what that mod is, please reach out to me. Let me know.
Oh, so for Portal Stories Mel, it's just on Steam, as a game. It's just basically listed as a game. And it's free, and so it's perfect because the difficulty level is basically designed for people who've just finished Portal 2. And it's not canon because it's made by just a Polish team. It's a fan-made game, but they made it in a way that it kind of fits in with the canon. It's you feel to me, this game is canon. In how it fills out the story.
I would definitely suggest, if you haven't played it, play Aperture Tag because it flows the same way.
Oh, really?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got its own little story. It's got its own little protagonist. And it deals, instead of with portals, it deals more with the gels.
Ooh.
So it was a really good mechanic. The game was well thought out. The mechanics were well thought out. The story is a really nice flow. And if you enjoyed Mel's stories, I'd suggest picking up Aperture Tag. It's like Mel's stories. I'll have to look in the regular store because that's what my issue was. I was looking in the community hub, the mod section, rather than the actual store section. So,
yep,
yeah.
Aperture Tag. If you just look in the store, it's right there. Awesome. I will add this to my wish list and check it out then. Sweet. Any other games?
Unfortunately, no. I just picked up The Room 4, which is an actual release successor to The Rooms, because I was quite upset that I wasn't going to get to play Dark Matter because it was strictly VR. So I am probably going to do a run series shortly. A Room series run shortly.
Oh yeah, I've played all of the Room games, and Eventually I'll get to the Room 4, but it's looking just as good as the rest of them. They're such great games.
Oh my goodness, yes. Have you gotten all the endings on 2 yet?
I think I got all the endings on 3. I can't remember whether I got all the endings on 2 since it was such a long time ago I played it, but maybe. But there's only like, I would say only 2 out of 4 main endings on 3. The other 2 are just like, whatever. There was like 2, was it 3 main endings? Because there was like 2 of the endings that were just too similar to one another, and it was just like, oh, okay, whatever. But yeah, it's still good though. It's still a great game.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Rodipad, what about you? What have you been playing this week?
So, last Sunday when I did a raid, we raid every Sunday with the LS on Final Fantasy 11 that I'm in, and they there's a event going on right now, and it helps you with the gearing up end game and stuff like that. So it's and I've like geared up like most of my main jobs, but it's my blue mage is very much lacking, and of course I don't have all of the what do you call it, the spells, because you know, like when you're a blue mage you have to like get hits a lot and everything until they do the move, and then it's like there's a chance you might get the spell or you might not get the spell. So I was like, oh, but I've got I think I've got most of the spells. I have a spreadsheets for this game, I swear. I have like a spreadsheet with all the spells that you're supposed to get, and I had a look and it's like, oh yeah, I still need about 60 of the spells. So I was trying to do that this week, and it's like I got maybe about 5. Oh, it's pretty poor effort, but I'm gonna get there. I'll definitely get there. But yeah, lots of fun, lots of trying like weird techniques to try and get these monsters to like do their special move, or because they'll probably have like 3 or 4 special moves, and it's not the one you want when they do it. So frustrating. But other than that, I also continued with Heartbeat. I'm coming up to the 40-hour mark on it, and I'm still not quite at the end, although it's you sort of know where you're nearing sort of the end part of it. It's all one word, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm getting nearer the end of that. It's still a lot of fun. Still, there's a lot of there's a few side quests that I still need to get done. So yeah, I'm still having a lot of fun. And there was one game that I picked up this week. There's been a lot of sales for a few games that I've had on my wish list. So I picked up 4 games this week. One was Coffee Talk, one was Pester Quest, and another one was Simulacra 2. So I'll play through those games at some point, and there's another game that I picked up that we're going to talk about later today.
Absolutely. Yeah. As for me, I was really excited because I received a gift from Raven Quick. So he sent me an RPG game that I'm gonna have to be checking out. So I can't remember the name for the live stream, so I feel really bad, but I have it in my queue of stuff to play. So
wait, was that the one you asked me about?
No. That's Dogeron, which I never ended up getting you the key, but we'll try. How about we'll try after the show? I'll get you that.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. So what I did play though is Dogeron. The developers of Dogeron were kind enough to send me a review copy, and so I am playing it through. I'm going to write a proper review and everything once I finish the game. But this is a precision platformer about a ninja frog, and it is really, really fun. The physics are just so smooth. It's really difficult though, so I've been like playing it for like, half an hour at a time and just like, okay, I need to put it down, and then I'll come back, and invariably I come back and it's like, oh, I beat that level, look at that. So I'll be able to figure it out. So I'm just past level 7 and I've died 110 times. So
wow.
But it's really fun. The checkpoints are quite fair. So you can regularly get to checkpoint spots, and so once you get there, it's like, oh, cool, I'm past that point. That said, if you don't get to the end of the level, if you close the game, it's going to take you back to the beginning of the level. So if you get to a checkpoint, you just kind of like, okay, I just need to finish the level so I can save that progress. But it's quite fun. I wouldn't say every level, but most levels are adding like a new mechanic. Like just recently, the most recent level I was playing just before the podcast, they added the Indiana Jones rolling rock thing, and I was just like, oh no. So then I have to jump over spikes while I'm being chased by a rock, and that probably cost me about 10 or 20 deaths right there. But it's so fun. It's really cute. It's really smooth. If you are into pixel art precision platformers, this should be in your sort of canon of games to play, alongside games like, and it's slipping my head. Celeste, yes. I was like, something est. Yes, Celeste, yes. So, like Celeste, or, there's a variety of these great pixel art games. I've got to make a proper list, but this is fantastic. And yeah, thank you to the Dogeron developers for giving me the opportunity to check it out, because with so many games on Steam, I might have never gotten around to it otherwise. But it is a great game. Fantastic. Yeah. And it's also not that expensive. It is just $5. So yeah, $5 for many hours of enjoyment and frustration. So besides that, I've been playing Fail Seal. I got back to it. I will admit, I lowered the difficulty mode.
There's nothing wrong with that. There is no need to be ashamed.
It's been a long time since I played it, and I was just like, I just want to finish the story. So I've been playing it Veteran, and I turned it down to just the beginner mode, which doesn't reduce it that much. I'm still having characters die and stuff. This isn't a permadeath game, but, well, it can be if you want it to be, but I've never had it on permadeath. But it is. I'm really looking forward to where the story's wrapping up, and I hope to wrap it up in the next few weeks. But this game keeps surprising me with like, oh, okay, I'm at the last level. It's like, oh, I'm not. I just unlocked a bunch of new levels. Okay. Oh, I'm at the last level. Oh, the story's continuing. And it's not bad, though. This is a very long game, though, at least 75 hours. And I've personally played this game a lot longer than 75 hours.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great game. It's got some DLC. I say if you buy this game, also buy all the DLC. Well, I mean, all the DLC. They have one DLC. Buy the one DLC. Get that, because it does add a lot to the game, and in order to really enjoy it, you want to have that DLC there when you start the game. It's not going to change the storyline. Well, it adds a few storylines at end game, but you're able to get new characters and such, and it's a lot more fun having those characters in your team through the whole story. So yeah, if you get this game, get the DLC, the monsters and missions. Yeah, and besides that, Final Fantasy XIV, playing through the post Shadowbringers story with my brother. Occasionally getting choked up and emotional still that game, but it's nice. It's just some really great post-patch content. So I'm just excited for the next expansion. So with that, yeah, that's all I've been playing. So yeah, next up, what about our catch-up? We have some games to catch up on from July 23rd through July 27th, starting with Meteorfall, Krumit's Tale.
Krumit's Tale, the second game in the Meteorfall universe, is a new take on the deck-building roguelike genre. Use your cards to clear dungeons, then upgrade your deck with new cards and perks to press forward. The fate of the world is in your hands.
So this is by Slothworks, which is a small studio out of San Jose, California. And it's got that sort of, like, bright, colorful CalArts style going.
It's got,
It kind of reminds me of Adventure Time.
I was about to say that, yeah. It's like, I love it. I love the characters. They're so, like, nice and interesting looking. And, you know, unlike some of the deck building games or some games that we've seen recently, you can definitely tell them apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's quite a lot of variants, a lot of bright colors, and the game board seems interesting. Like, they have a set mechanic they figure out, and so there seems to be there's the card thing, and then there's also, like, laying out your pieces on the board. Really interesting. I'm quite curious how it actually plays.
I've seen one card that looks like a golden poop with gems in it.
I know what that is. That is a throw at Family Guy. No, not Family Guy. American Dad. That's a throw at American Dad.
Oh, really? That's a reference?
That is a subplot device. It's supposed to be like signifying the root of all evil, and every time it's around, there's a body count involved with it. So, kudos to those guys. It works. The game itself seems very interesting. It's another deck building. But the art style gives it something to have you remember it by.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be interested to see how this plays.
Yeah, well, as far as plays, there's quite a variety to it, even though it seems to be, you have the 3x3 grid in your cards, but there are 5 heroes, each with their own unique play style, so they've got their own mechanics and such, 50 plus perks, 50 unique cards per hero, plus neutrals to pool a neutral pool of shared cards. So that's 250 hero cards, plus however many neutral cards they have. So quite a lot of cards to learn.
Not to mention, it's under the roguelite, which
Mm-hmm.
means you're never going to get the same run, ever. You're never going to get the same deck built. You're never going to get the same enemy spawns. Which is really, really nice. A lot of people are like, oh, roguelikes, they're all the same. Well, yeah, they're all the same, but they're all different.
Mm.
Yep.
So I think this is a hidden gem. I really do. It's got a lot of positive reviews. It's very positive in both the recent and all reviews. There's almost 500 reviews posted. And some of the reviews that I've seen that were negative were really nitpicky. It's like, if something's going to be wrong, you're going to find it if you look for it. Other than that, it seems like a really good game.
It's true. Like a lot of the negative reviews that we see on some of these, it's like either there's like a minor bug or something which they could like just report to the dev in discussions before they write up their review, or it's just something like, oh, well, it wasn't to my taste. And it's like, well, if it wasn't for your taste, that's not like the fault of the dev.
Yeah, it's not the fault of the game. Or like, there's nitpicks, or it's like, yeah, it's the genre. It's what the genre does.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
If you're going to complain about that, stop playing that genre.
Yeah, exactly. It's really easy. Just look for that tag. It's right there. Just blacklist that tag, and you'll never have to deal with this again. Yeah. And it is $14.99 USD.
It's £11.39.
And of course, Slothworks also created the. They have some DLC for this game as well, and there is an Epic edition that includes the DLC. So for $17.97. Next up is Röki.
Röki is a stunning adventure set in the snow-capped wilderness. As Tove, you must explore an uncharted world of hidden legends and forgotten monsters, solve puzzles, collect curiosities, and uncover a tale of tragic loss as you chart your path to redemption.
Oh, this is a really interesting 2.5D art style.
Yeah. I played this.
Oh, really?
I played the demo because they featured it at Adventure X. So it was like, yeah, this is one of the games I played, and it was like the part that you played was like looking back into the past and sort of like why and how you set off on this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was interesting, and there's like some nice humor in there, and it's like a really nice setting. The characters are lovely. I don't know, there was just something about it, like, because it does kind of have this point and click feel, but there was just something about it that I wasn't like completely on board with. I can't, and it was such a long time ago that I played the demo that I just can't put my finger on what it was. But it looks really nice and everything, and it's the character's great.
When I first saw the trailer, I thought the art style was very pretty. It's very intriguing. There's a lot of art style like this out there, but it carries its own charm. The story seems in depth. I'm sure they didn't get in everything that they wanted, but it looks like for the most part, it's a pretty full story-based game. And, you know, demos don't put everything that the devs want in. So what you may have thought was lacking may actually be in the entirety of the game. You just never know until you buy it. But again, you know, it's got a lot of great reviews on it. Polygon Treehouse, as far as I know, is a pretty good developer. I'm pretty sure this isn't their first game. The name sounds familiar to me. I don't know why. I should have looked it up earlier. I apologize. But yeah, it seems like it seems like it's one of those hidden gems where you look at it, you go, it'll probably be okay, but once you play it, then it sucks you in, and when you end up finishing it, you just sit back, you go, whoa.
Yeah, Polygon Treehouse is I believe this is the first game on Steam. They may have developed other games on other platforms, but this is the first game on Steam. They, I would say, I kind of wish this one had a demo because it is selling for $20. Just kind of like the sole like updated like to the current engine demo would be really helpful. Especially for point and click, because like point and click, just the mechanics, whether it meshes with the player or not, just varies so much. So yeah, a demo would really help with this.
But there's it's standing at very positive overall at 94% with 750 reviews, and the recent reviews 78 people at 92% positive, very positive. So it's very good.
I know why it looks familiar. I've been looking at some of the games on Switch, and this is available on the Switch, and that's why I thought it was familiar. That's why I recognized the developer. Now, this is, as far as I can see, this is their only game.
Yeah, I feel like Switch is usually like a good like stamp for a quality game, because in order to get on Switch, they have to go through certification. So when you see a game that an indie game has been released on Switch, it's like, okay, it's probably not bad. It may be mediocre, but it's probably not bad. Yeah, Poly Treehouse is a small studio based out of Cambridge, England.
Yeah, and it's £19.49. So yeah, it's
$19.99 USD. Ooh.
Yeah.
UK is getting UK is getting shafted.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is CARRION.
It's not letting me. It's
not loading? CARRION is developed by Kroskiewicz or Phobia Game Studios. They are a studio out of Warsaw, Poland. Has it loaded for you?
Yeah, it's loaded.
Cool.
Carrion is a reverse horror game in which you assume the role of an amorphous creature of unknown origins, stalking and consuming those that imprisoned you.
I've seen various playthroughs of this game. It's one of those pixelated adventures. And because it's pixelated, the gore isn't that bad. It's still fairly gory, though. I love the fact that they use this reverse horror where you play as the monster rather than as the victims trying to survive. And you kind of get the story behind the monster as well, why it's doing this. You don't really get where it's from. There is still a lot of mystery and intrigue behind it. I'd like to see maybe some DLC or maybe a sequel pertaining to more of how the monster came into being and stuff like that. It's a wonderfully delightful horror game. It really is. And if you have frustrations, this is the perfect game to take it out on. Just go around bashing everything, eating up people. It's horribly wonderful. And it's got a lot of positive reviews, and everybody who's played it that I've talked to has absolutely loved it. There's a lot of hidden secrets in the game, so you can casually play through it, but you won't get all of the story. If you want all of the story, you've got to try to go for 100% completion. But even if you don't, even if you're just casually playing around, just nomming on human people, it's still fun.
I've seen people play it and they can get frustrated with the puzzle aspects of the game, because you're trying to get through certain gates and everything like that. But it's really, really good when it gets going, and I kind of like it, but you're just tearing through a lot of people.
Yeah, you can basically just become a living waterfall at a certain point, just running. Yep.
Yeah, it is standing at very positive with nearly 11,000 reviews, at 93% positive, and the recent reviews 296 very positive reviews, standing at 94%.
On the theme of sort of gothic and macabre, our next title is Othercide.
I would just like to say it is at £16.99.
Oh yeah, and the previous game was $19.99. Yeah, a Carrion is $19.99, which isn't too uncommon for a game published by I believe it's Devolver Digital. They typically charge premium indie prices, but Devolver Digital also doesn't publish bad games usually. So,
and the thing you gotta remember too is it's been out for almost a year now. Yeah. And it's got that many reviews, and they're still pumping strong at that price.
Yep.
That should say something about the game.
On to Othercide.
As humanity's last hope, lead your army to combat in an intricate dance of spectacular actions and counters, using an original dynamic timeline system, and face fearsome bosses in epic battles.
Yep. So this one's it's a turn-based roguelike that is this, I'm trying to remember the terms, because I did watch a playthrough, and they've got all these kind of very interesting apocalyptic biblical names for everything. It's really it's very much gothic horror kind of settings, and you're the daughters, and so there's the mother, and then all of your pieces, the characters you're playing are the daughters, and you're sending the daughters out to defeat the enemies. It's very hardcore. This is because there's permadeath, but there's also a progression mechanic involved with the permadeath. So when one of your daughters die, basically some of her traits get passed on to the next daughter that you create. And so there's sort of this interesting build-up, and eventually the cascade will build up to a point where, yes, you can finally beat the final boss sort of thing. But it is
I'm going to have to correct you a little bit on that. The daughters are actually clones.
Clones, okay. They're
So
clones. Interesting.
the traits that are being passed on, you're right, they are being passed on, but not in the way that you would think. They're actually cloning. Which is a great storyline mechanic. So it's like you can get used to the mechanics that you want with a certain character, and you can pass it on to the next character that you play via that cloning process. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
As far as my take on it, it's very pretty. Like for me, in a horror sense, it's a very pretty game. I love the fact that they use black and white with red to make it
very video noir, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're frozen. Oh no, Kitty's frozen.
Oh no, Kitty's frozen. Ah! Oh no. Well, hopefully she'll reconnect soon. But yeah, it seems like there might be just a little connection hiccup right there.
But I have to agree with Kitty. It is very pretty, and that nice that red. It reminds me of that comic book and film.
Certainly one that I would probably enjoy watching.
Ah, you're back. Hello.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. You just I think that you just froze for a bit, so it seems that you were just keeping on talking.
Yeah, it was like.
I apologize. So basically, I said it's a very pretty game. It's not one that I would be interested in, but I would certainly probably enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
I think the same as well. It's like I do like turn-based games, but when it's like turn-based sort of tactics kind of games, I'm like really picky about them. It's not, maybe this isn't the one I'd would want to pick up really, but it's it looks so stylish. It looks really nice, and
I would. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, carry on.
Okay. I would say that, as for a recommendation, if you liked Darkest Dungeon, this is basically a grid-based 3D kind of as far as like if you're into the sort of loss and reward mechanics of Darkest Dungeon, you would probably be into Othercide. So, yep.
And it's currently standing at very positive. Well, sorry, recent reviews is mostly positive. It's overall very positive, 83% positive with 768,000 reviews, and recently 44 reviews, about 79%. So I'm not sure what the recent complaints on it. The game has style in spades, but it's just not that fun for me. So, and the same, it's like a lot of people says, I love the style and some improvements over your conventional tactic turn-based approach, but it's the same. But it's no means a big game. It's not. No. It's and it's repetitive. As well, so that's the main recent complaint.
Yeah, I believe you can beat this game in about 25 hours, which is pretty short for a roguelite. Yeah, it's possible to beat this game in about 25 hours, and I don't remember where I was going with this, but it looks like Happy Kitty's frozen again. Oh no.
It's just as not fun.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back.
I have no idea what is going on with my internet. I apologize.
No problem.
No worries.
Connection issues happen. This is the fun thing about having a live podcast.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it looks pretty fun. It's got kind of a. I'm very much interested in checking this out eventually. And the small studio that made it is based out of Paris, France, and Sweden. So they've got a Swedish team and a Paris team. That's where I want to go. The voice acting. They have 4 professional voice actors on this. A single actress does the mother and all of the daughters. And then she also does one of the bosses. And then they have another guy who does like 5 different bosses. So there's so they've got 4 actors, and they all do like a variety, and then they have a narrator, I believe, as well. So It's quite really good voice acting in this game, actually.
Nice. It's 50% off right now, so maybe pick it up while it's at half price. And it's £14.99.
Yeah, $17.49. Despite how much I love the style, I would not pay $35 for this probably. So $17.49 is pretty reasonable, I think. Okay, Sunday. Now we're up to the releases. We're done with Catchup, so now we're on to the release list. And unlike most weeks, we do have a game that came out on Sunday. Chicken Holmes.
Use your most valuable chicken detective skills to solve the Bartolomeu's mystery. In this point-and-click game, you explore a kidnapper's house guided by a series of ink marks of poor Rubens, the butcher of the city. Jedites gathered the information and just disappeared. Now, fend for yourself.
That's a very stochastic paragraph. Just a bunch of different stuff being mentioned. Is like.
Well, yeah,
I don't follow.
I was just reading it. It didn't absorb into my brain. It was just like, what? Okay.
Those are words.
Yeah.
They are all sentences, but you have context for none of them.
So, I got to admit, I just looked this up this morning, and I looked at it, and my notes say that, and this is exactly what I said. Okay, that looks adorable.
Yes.
It's got a pretty art style. I'm a huge fan of mystery murder things. I love reading that type of genre, so I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. And this just looks absolutely charming, and it's going on the wish list, and it looks like it's going to be story rich. It looks like the mechanics are going to be quite fun, and I'm sure, as with all Sherlock Holmes stories, there's going to be a twist to it, and that's going to be fun to figure out. Overall, I'd say that this is definitely one to enjoy. If you're into the whole murder mystery, cute animal type thing, pick this one up.
Yep.
So yeah, I have to agree completely with all that. I am a little worried with the fact that the blurb now is not crisp enough, not finessed enough, as to, these games are rely very much on their writing. So I am a little bit worried about that. However, this is under an hour playtime, so that's also that's not a bad thing. I do like my short games as well. It's like sometimes you just want to play something for an evening and just get a very quick game in, and this gets your brain going. But yeah, I am worried slightly of the writing. Saying that though, it's £1.69, and it's cute, it's adorable, it's short, and I'm not gonna. I love a murder mystery or a kidnapping mystery in this case. So I am this is going on my wish list basically.
Yep. And yeah, it's something quick that you could just do, okay, I'm gonna play 3 short games. This would in a stream. This would be one of them that you could knock out. Next up, Monday, April 12th.
Oh yeah, and it is standing at 100% positive with 17 users.
Yeah, it is. Monday, April 12th, Hobo Tough Life, or Hobo Tough Life. Yeah.
Hobo Tough Life is an urban survival role-playing game where you play as a homeless person. Play alone or team up in online co-op. Explore the streets of Parsalve, salvage for food and supplies, beg, steal, and do whatever else it takes to survive the forthcoming winter.
Yeah, this game has been in early access for quite a long time, and it's accrued over 2,000 reviews during that, and it's finally come out with its full release. This is basically the setting. You are in an Eastern European city as a hobo, and there's a lot of different there is actually a kind of end goal to this, not just surviving, where you basically climb the raise your status among the other hobos and try to unite them under the Hobo King. So there's like this sort of interesting meta narrative going on alongside the sort of just day-to-day grind of various difficulties and alternate paths you can take. You can take more criminal paths. You can take more honest paths. You can get a dog. Like there's a lot of, and you, of course, you have your base where, you find an empty lot somewhere and it's like, okay, this is where I'm going to set up shop. This is going to be my home. So. Yeah.
Important question though. Can you pet the dog?
That's exactly what I was going to ask. You can get the dog, but can you pet the dog? That's the important question.
This is the question we all need to know.
To me, it seems like a typical open world sandbox type builder thing, and I've pretty much got burnt out of those a while back. But seeing as how it actually has an end goal, unlike some of these others that are just repetitive and just go on until you decide to quit the game, is nice to have. So it seems like there is an ending to the game, a sort of pinnacle that you want to reach, not just surviving. And I think that being said, it's going to put itself a bit on the side of the others to differentiate itself, and I think that's what's going to make it a success.
Yeah, I do like this setting. It's like this interesting sort of like urban setting with and you've got like these nice bits of like countryside as well just outside the city. So yeah, it's like nice contrast. I'm not really like an open world like survival player really, but considering like how many positive reviews there are, I think if that's sort of thing you're into, and there is also you can team up as well, which I think is a nice add-on to that. I think this is one worth picking up. It's standing at overall 76% positive, with over 2,000 reviews, but recently, as it's just come out of early access, it's standing at 79% positive with 191 reviews.
That's good. It's good to see. It's good to see the review score increase with release, because something we see really common is after it comes out early access, it releases and like tanks in reviews.
Completely. Yeah.
It's like, no, it doesn't have this or it doesn't have that, and that's obviously a legitimate criticism when the developers promise something and then don't deliver. Sometimes it can get a little ridiculous, but it's nice to see it came out and it's like, okay, so you're doing even better. So yeah,
it's also like an example of why we don't review games that are just in early access, because it's like we don't know like what journey the game's going to go in.
And what the finished product's going to be. Yeah,
completely.
Yeah, because folks will have games where like in early access where it's like one level, and then and they're like, oh, this looks so nice, so promising, and give it a bunch of positive reviews.
And the rest of the game is nothing like it.
Nothing.
Completely. Yeah, and sometimes the game gets abandoned, so that's always a risk as well. This is £19 49.
Yeah, $24.99. So it's going to cost you, but it looks like there's quite a bit of time content. But it seems to be about 15, 12, 15, maybe 20 hours. So it is a bit pricey, but the developers have kind of proven through early access it's a proof of concept. So they've
not to mention it's got both single and co-op, so there is replay value.
Yeah. And
depending on your style of play, you could play it and get different results too. So that's always a plus.
Yeah. Since they do have four-player co-op, I do really wish they would sell a 4-pack, a 4-key pack.
Yeah.
That's always a thing. It's free money, guys. Just sell the 4-pack. Really, just do it. It's a license to print money when you make an online co-op game. All right. Next up, Tuesday, April 13th, Necken.
Explore, collect resources, and craft your way through the roguelite forest. Battle mystical creatures from Swedish folklore and reach Necken, the creature known for drowning everyone who meets him.
Really interesting art and aesthetic. I I do like the setting quite a bit. I could not when I had this in the list, I could not remember what the game was though. I was like, Necken. What is that? What is this game that I looked at? But yeah, it looks sort of just a fun roguelike, semi turn-based roguelike. Well, it is technically turn-based, but it's turn-based roguelike.
I like the fact that you're hopping over everything. It's like boing, 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 boing. So, carry on.
So when I first saw this, I was intrigued by the music. Was absolutely beautiful. And it's going to be a shame if the music that we hear in the trailer isn't in the game.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying.
Because I fell in love with the music. Honestly, this is a game that I could sit and I don't care if I die if the music is great. I could sit and just chill listening to the music. Now, that being said, the gameplay looks absolutely wonderful. The story behind it sounds polished. And if you're into any sort of folklore, this would be one of the games to go by. And it's on the wish list. At the price that it's at $4.99. The price, and it seems like it's going to be one of those hidden gems. I can only hope, though, that for me, what really drew this into the game is the music, and I can only hope that the music's in, because if the music that we're hearing during the trailer isn't in the game, and I'm not talking about the first or the third trailer with the voice audio, I'm talking the second trailer.
Yeah, I think
because I can understand why the music from the first and the third wouldn't be in the game, but even still, the music in the second one was really pretty as well, and if they could at least get that into the game, I know I would enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks like I like the idea of the Swedish folklore. I like the setting and everything. This looks like just really well done. I'm surprised there's not more people that have picked this up. It looks really, really nice.
Yep, it's 89% positive with 19 reviews. So, yeah.
And it's $3.99. Key features: generated forests, permadeath, minimalistic controls, crafting, turn-based combat, unlockables, resource collection, and unlockable characters. So,
got a little bit of something for everybody.
The developer is Jocce. They have released one game before, and that was Space Lint, which is still in early access. So I guess it technically hasn't released yet. So, it's coming soon. Yeah, it definitely hasn't released yet, but it's going to be releasing to early access. And that is Space Lint. So developer's moving on to his next project. Well, their next project. I think it's multiple people. Next up. Retro Machina, Nucleonics.
Retro Machina is a single-player action and exploration game set in a retro-futuristic universe. Experience the journey of a little robot as they solve intricate puzzles and begin unraveling the mysteries of a world long forgotten.
Oh, and I gotta correct myself. Necken is developed by Jocce Marklund. It's one person. So yeah, it is a solo dev game. Yeah. So yeah, Retro Machina now, Nucleonics, yep.
And so this is like a demo, like a prequel kind of thing.
It is.
Because the main game is coming out, it says Q2 in 2021. So yeah, this is kind of like a prequel or demo. They haven't specified.
Oh, that is my mistake then. I wouldn't have had it in the list. But yeah, so eventually Retro Machina, you can play this demo right now, but eventually the full game will be coming out. And it's a ARPG whose aesthetics kind of remind me of 1950s sci-fi kind of thing.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks fantastic. And if you want to get a taster of this before they release the main game, it's absolutely free, so by all means pick this up.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I don't mind that you had this one on the list because it looks like it's going to be a success.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can get people to try the game, try at least the demo for free. It's free. You can pick it up at any time. It looks like it's a bit of a mini game, not just a demo. So it doesn't look like you're going to get just a taste, but maybe you'll actually get like the pre-story before the actual story. So if that's the case, that would be really awesome. It would automatically draw you in. It would give you just that little taste, a little bit more than what that demo usually gives, to get you excited for the actual game release.
Yeah, and looking
very
at
pretty.
Let's see. Looking at the reviews, yeah, this looks between 1 and 4 hours, probably 1 hour, probably 1.5 hour kind of thing. Yep. Coming up next, we have from Wednesday, April 14th, is Forgotten Fields.
Forgotten Fields is a cozy narrative game about Sid, a struggling writer who travels back to his childhood home one last time before it's sold off. Visit old friends, relive memories, solve puzzles, and play through sections of Sid's book in this warm game about nostalgia and the passage of time.
So this is developed by an Indian developer, Frostwood Interactive, and I don't know if it's actually set in India. I get a feeling that at least part of it is, but just based on the aesthetic of the environments. But it's it's just kind of just story, interactive. It's interactive fiction mostly.
And from what I could gather, it looks like it's 2 stories side by side, so you kind of pop back and forth between reality and fantasy. I think it might the fantasy might take place in his books or in the world he imagines his books to be from. It's a very pretty style. You've got you get different first-person, third-person views. It looks like you can do other things besides just walk around, and you can interact with a lot of things. I think the biggest thing to look at is it's just released, and there are bugs to it, and the devs have answered some of the the bugginess of the game. I'm sorry, I'm losing words at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it seems like they know that there are some bugs upon releases, and they're right on top of it because their newest update, which I looked at yesterday, was confronting a lot of the stuff that people are saying are broken about the game, and they're right on top of it. So they seem to have a really good interactive with the community and with the gamers who are purchasing and playing these games. They're positive with their feedbacks, and looks like they're trying to do their best to polish the game even after release, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, that is always encouraging.
It's beautiful. It looks beautiful. It's one of those like narrative interactive fictions that I like to play. But it's like when there's not enough to do, it kind of like puts me off. But I really, it looks like, there's plenty of things to do, and lots of kind of like different perspectives, and like this fantasy world that you can go in, and these cinematics. It looks really nice. And there is a demo as well, a free demo that you can pick up before you go try the buy the main game, which is 15% off right now at £8.74. It's currently only 10 user reviews, and it's standing at 90% positive.
Yep. And the same devs also created Rain Swept, their previous game, which is 88% positive with 125 reviews. And that one's also interactive fiction, but that one's a murder mystery game, so a little bit less like personal contemplation.
I have that
you have it?
on my list. Yeah, so I haven't played it yet, but it's like I need to play that. It's good.
All right. Thursday, April 15th is The Darkside Detective, A Fumble in the Dark.
delouse your room with sage and pack up your travel size Ouija board. It's time to re-enter Twin Lakes, America's 34th most haunted city. Join Detective McQueen as he puzzles his way through 6 chilling cases, risking life and pixelated limb to solve the macabre mysteries that plague the poor town.
I am ashamed at myself that I have not played the original to this yet, because this has been in my sights for a very long time. It's Lovecraftian, pixelated horror, horror mystery. And it's a riot. It is. It's an absolute. At least the original was. And I have a feeling this is just going to be as funny, if not funnier. Again, it's part of that pixelated art style that seems to be coming out a lot, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's got its own little charm to it. The storyline between the characters really seems to be well thought out. And I look forward to seeing what a Fumble in the Dark will be about, other than, just mystery and intrigue and stuff like that. So, but yeah, This is right up there. It is, and I look forward to seeing what it has to offer.
So I have played them. I've played both of them. So the first one, it's split up into I wouldn't say bite-sized cases, because each case is on various times. But the first game, the developer said that he wanted people to, when they come home from work, when they wanted to pick up a game, it's like each case will be long enough for like an evening to play, or maybe just a little bit longer. But yeah, it's like the Darkside detective, he's Detective McQueen, he's part of this branch of the police station, like solving all these like hauntings in the city. And when you start the second game, it's like sort of carrying on pretty much from the first game, and the cliffhanger that you're left with on the first game. And it's definitely I feel that you definitely need to play the first game. I don't think you can just pick up the second game, because even though it does kind of like gives you a brief go over of what the happens in the first game, it doesn't like gently ease you into it, because the first game, it is definitely eases people into it if you haven't ever played a point and click game. It's like, especially the first case, it's just like it's a little more easier getting through the puzzles and everything like that. This, when you start the first case, there's a little bit more challenge to it. But it's still sort of, the answers are at the tip of your tongue, sort of thing. So yeah, it's faster paced. It doesn't try to trip you up or anything. And it's funny, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm nearly at the end of the first case.
Awesome. And I've rectified a terrible, terrible tragedy. I did not have either of these on my wish list, so I have rectified that. It is on my wish list now, and I really want to check it out. I'm not really a point and click player, but there's certain point and clicks where just the setting and like, especially when it's more kind of comedy oriented, I'm like, well, I gotta play this. It'll be fun. And I love buddy cop stories. It doesn't even matter if like the characters are actually cops, like just, that sort of buddy cop genre where it's just like the two characters are just like getting into trouble together. And I love storylines like that. I absolutely adore them. So, yeah, I gotta check this out.
And also, it looks like they are working on further cases for this game as well. So right now it does have 6 cases, but there looks like there's going to be, maybe more cases to add later on.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. There's a free demo you can play, so you try before you buy. It's 10% off right now at $8.99, and I recommend picking this up straight away. It's worth every penny, I feel.
Absolutely.
It's and it's also at 98% positive with 50 user reviews.
Sweet. Next up is Tactical Troops Anthracite Shift.
Top-down, turn-based game that mixes tactical skills and the feeling of 80s sci-fi movies. Command a troop of soldiers in a single-player campaign or fight on one of 24 multiplayer maps. Explore the planet Anthracite, sorry if I got that wrong, using advanced teleportation technology and gridless movement.
Yeah, so this one, I've played some Flash games that kind of had this aesthetic. It's definitely not the looker of a game, but some of these, I was just like, it just gave me a load of nostalgia for some games that I played, and it's like, I wonder if this would be at all as good as that. So I'm just really curious about this game. It doesn't have many reviews yet, but I like the setting, and yeah, so this was just kind of my bias that I picked this one. I was like, I'm really curious. So
no, that's fine. I feel like there are certain games that not in my wheelhouse. So when someone says, "Oh no, this is ticking some boxes for me," it's like, oh, okay. So definitely want to spread the word just in case anyone else would be interested in picking this up. But I am a bit concerned about the price. Like you said, the artwork isn't quite as nice, or it's not looking as pretty. So I would have maybe they should have put it a little bit cheaper. Maybe.
Yeah, it's $13.49 USD with 10% off right now.
I've got to agree with Brody Play on this one. This one's really not in my wheelhouse. I mean, the art is kind of pretty to look at, but other than that, it's kind of like, It seems like it could be a good game. Yeah. It really does. There's multiple campaigns, and there's multiplayer, and it seems like there's replay value and stuff, but it's one of those games that I just can't bring myself to really like or really want to try, which is a shame. I mean, because I've missed out on quite a few games because of that, but this really isn't in my wheelhouse. It's
described as finally someone, one of the reviewers described it as finally someone combined XCOM and Worms. Like Worms, what's that game? Yeah, the Worm Battler game. So basically combining those two, which I think is a clever combination. And I think it would work quite well. Interestingly enough, I've never gotten into XCOM. So
XCOM has really bad RNG.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the main thing that keeps me away.
Everything it can to screw you over. So that is my only worry with that type of review. When they say, it's a cross between XCOM and Worms, it's like, what kind of cross between XCOM are we talking about? Because if we're talking about the RNG of XCOM, no. I mean, some people enjoy punishment, but...
Oh yeah, the meme, you're basically point blank, pointing the gun in the alien's head, 60% chance to hit.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah, this is developed by QED Games. It's their first game on Steam, and best of luck. They are, best of luck to them.
Yep, 10% off right now at £10.25.
Next up, Ashwalkers.
A survival journey through a harsh world without rules or judgment. Only your choices matter in the face of moral dilemmas. Manage your party, food and equipment in this non-linear narrative survival sim with 34 possible endings.
34?
Yep. It's got replay. If nothing else, it's got replay, especially if you're a completionist.
Yeah.
The art is unique. Not to say that's bad or anything. Mm-hmm. It's unique. It's a post-apocalyptic survival. Do we not have enough of these?
It's a pretty full genre, yeah.
It is. The only thing that I can say about it is, yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic survival, but it doesn't seem to be on Earth. So that could be a plus or positive, or at least the survivors don't seem to be from Earth. So that could add like a sort of different element to it. But I hate to say it, but I am sick of these games, and I wish people would move on. But I realize there's a following for them, and there are a lot of good games out there like this. So I'm sure it's going to be a good game. And as long as things are done right, I mean, with 34 endings, if you get a couple of endings and you're really into it, you're going to want to try and complete it. So that's a good thing.
Yep.
But I'd like to add to your disapproval. sorry to be a downer, but so the issue I mainly have is the way that it looks, because it's the environment, because they've gone for this, like, and I'm not even going to say black and white, I'm going to say grey. They've gone full on many shades of grey, and it's not good. It's not good. It's like, I don't want to, and also, this isn't like the kind of game genre that I would play anyway, but you want something that's going to stick out and hold your attention. This look isn't it. I don't know. But maybe the gameplay's really great. So,
yeah, because like and it's interesting because the 3D art assets are actually quite nice. It's just they don't have any color, so they just don't have any color. And I wish they would they could do this style, but as long as there was on virtually every screen something that had color. Like whether it be just the campfire here, like the campfire could have color, or, maybe just the trees have color, or just something on every screen. As long as something on every screen had color, I feel it would be much more tolerable.
Yeah.
It's
just so washed out. So, some of the screenshots are just so washed out.
Yeah, and at least with Outside or Outsiders, or that other one we reviewed earlier. Othercide.
Othercide, yeah.
At least there was enough of the contrast.
Yeah. There was the vivid red and the deep blacks on every screen.
Yeah. So. You had that wonderful contrast with everything, and this one, it seems like if you stare at the screen too long, you're just gonna see nothing. It's just gonna be like snow in front of you, and the TVs, when the TV stations go down. Yeah.
I understand what they're going for in that this is actually set on Earth, but there's been basically a super volcano went off, and it just kept erupting for 200 years. So there's just ash everywhere. And if you've ever been in a volcanic eruption, everything looks gray, but it's just because the gray is covering everything that has color. But and that looks very different. That looks very different from this. But I get the sort of thing they're kind of apply, but it wouldn't be this gray. This muted. It wouldn't be this muted. So it's actually quite interesting if you ever go to Mont St. Helens, and this is like the color gray of the ash, because you can still see the ash there. But there's still color around. So anyhow, but I am quite intrigued about the different story narrative, if it's got a really good plot line. And this is developed by Nameless 13, which is a studio from Toulouse, France.
And it's 15% off at £7.89, and it's standing at 82% positive with 35 users.
Yep, that's $10.19 USD. Next up is the oppositely colorful Rain on Your Parade.
Travel the world as a mischievous cloud and ruin everybody's day. Unlock new methods of mayhem in over 50 levels, each with unique settings and objectives. This is the ultimate Schadenfreude simulator.
So, when I first saw this, it made me giggle.
Yeah.
It did. It seems absolutely adorable. And this is one of those games where if you're having a bad day, load this up. You'll be able to get out your aggression and smile at the same time. You'll feel better. I think this is one of those games that'll make you feel better after a bad day. And not in a bad way either. You know, you'll get through it. You'll get through a couple of puzzles. You'll start smiling. You'll start laughing. And, you know, the rest of your day you'll pick up. But it's very colorful. The art is quite... it's not quite Yoshi's Yarn World, but it's along similar designs. Like it's not like Woolly World, but it is in the fact that it's not made out of wool, but you can definitely see different textures. I mean, there is some wool there in some of the trees, but you know, it's not just all wool. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really good game. And again, you know, 50 levels, unique settings, objectives. It seems like there's a lot of play to the game.
Yeah, I like the cloud itself. It's like cut out of cardboard and it's on strings as well. So one of the levels is like a stealth game. You're a ninja cloud and you're in like a warehouse and you've got to get like sort of sneak past ninjas and everything. But I do like the fact that there are objectives because I think it is just like one of those games where it's like, oh, you can do many things, and it's like you don't always know what the scope of the game is. So when you put in like those objectives, it like really it really makes it fun for me. I definitely prefer that. And there is a free demo. Absolutely. So, you know, again, another one you can try before you buy. And this is definitely going on my wish list. It's currently at 10% off right now at £10.79. And it's at 97% positive with 68 user reviews.
You can also draw your own face on the cloud.
Ooh.
You can customize your cloud.
You can customize your cloud quite extent with different hats and stuff. But you can even just like draw your own smiley face on there. It's like, oh, okay, I want it to look like this, and oh my word! And of course, yeah, that's probably
I'm gonna have to put cat face on it.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to do it.
Yes, cat face cloud, little nyan cat, yeah. It's just so cute, really cheerful, really colorful. I love the aesthetic of where it's like almost like it's like you're just playing on a board, like you have a little cardboard cloud and you're just playing with all your toys on a table kind of thing. It's quite a nice aesthetic with that, and the cloud's so cute. Unbound Creations. This is not the first game by Unbound Creations. They've also made Fulfillment, Headliner, and Karaski and Postmortem, One Must Die. So they have quite a few games on Steam already.
I think I've played Headliner. Yeah, I think I played one of the Headliner games, and that's like pretty good because although you feel like there's no way you can win the perfect game or something, it's like, oh, it is good. It's almost like a thought experiment. It's a pretty good game. But they've done something that is bright and happy by crapping on people, which I quite like. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like I said before, I think this is definitely going to be one of those bad game days that turns a bad game. Yeah. That turns a bad day into a good evening.
My favorite scene in Rain on Your Parade is where the guy's shuffling snow and you go out there and just dump snow on what he's been shuffling. And then he just walks away super dejected. It's so funny and relatable. So, all right, next up, Godstrike.
Godstrike is a twin-stick shooter where time is your health and currency. Face off against ruthless bosses in tense 1v1 showdown as Talal, the Last Herald.
So yeah, basically your health bar is directly tied to the timer. So this is very much like you've got to beat the boss in a certain amount of time and get as little damage as possible done to you. So it's one of those very much like heavily skill based boss rush games.
It's a bullet hell.
Yeah, bullet hell.
It is a bullet hell, and I am horrible at bullet hells. That being said, this looks like it'll be a lot of fun, at least for me to enjoy somebody else getting aggravated over playing.
And I think I've been seeing this, like, I saw trailers for this a year or two ago. It's been a long time that folks have been waiting for this to come out. So, Godstrike, it's out, and it only has 36 reviews so far. Guys, it's out. Check it out. Godstrike.
Get it.
Let us know what you thought about it. Yeah, it's not sponsored. Not sponsored. Just saying, I know there's been hype for this, and I feel like, did people not notice it? Guys, check it out. There's not too many. I don't know how long the game is, because like most of the reviews I'm reading they have fairly short time, but they haven't said if they finished or not. And this just came out on Thursday, so I don't know if they finished it or not. I see like 4.7 hours. It's not an easy game. It can be relaxing, enjoying, but not easy. So they don't say that they finished, so I'm not sure how long it is.
I do like it says there's Twitch compatibility, allowing viewers to affect the game, upgrading and refreshing the game experience. That's very interesting, because I think a lot of people would maybe try to screw you over even more.
I think that Twitch Interactive really should be on a lot of streamers' radars, especially if they're into stuff like this. What are you doing, streamers? Grab it! Let's your chat.
Yep.
Just absolutely, torture you with this. You'll have fun, they'll have fun, it'll be a great time.
No, completely. Yeah, I do like that. I do like trying to involve the audience, your Twitch crowd completely. It is 20% off right now at £9.11. So yeah, as you said, there's like 36 users, but it's standing at 83% positive.
Overpowered Team, the developer, is based out of Madrid, Spain, and they've also let me see, this isn't out yet, right? Yeah, okay, so they've got two games that are, I believe, coming soon. Intergalactic Transfer Station they're working on, and they're working on Ruin Raiders, which you play as dogs? No, okay, anthropomorphic animals, basically, and you're just, it's like a top-down turn-based? No, action roguelike. So it's turn-based strategy / action roguelike? Those aren't the same things.
We'll have to keep an ear out for when that one gets released, so we can give that one a proper review.
Exactly. Well. I hate it when tags are put in a game and they contradict each other. It's like, what are you talking about? Action RPG point and click. What? I mean, I suppose it's possible, but what?
I think I've seen a couple of cases like that.
Or walking sim action RPG. What? Yeah, something like that. That's a contradiction. I'm just like,
yeah.
How? Anyhow. So yeah, that's Godstrike. Next up we have... Oh, and it's 20% off at $11.99 USD. Next up is Hitchhiker. A mystery game.
Hitchhiker is a mystery game set along lost highways where your goal is to solve the puzzle of your own backstory. You really don't remember that where it says Hitchhiker is a mystery game. It's like, well, yeah, I know it is. You've already said so in the title. Yeah. It's like,
yeah, it's not the worst summary I've seen, but it's not very helpful. No. So this is more. I think this is partly interactive fiction. Partly partly walking simulator, but I do believe there's a branching narrative and such going on from what I've read. It's also and it's not just like branching narrative by what decisions you make, but also like where you're looking, because stuff is happening around you in this 3D environment, and you're in a first-person perspective, and you can miss stuff if you're not like looking at the right location, because this game gets pretty weird. It can seem pretty normal if you're not looking in the right direction. and then start look around. It's like, wait a second, what is wrong with this world?
It's just like any other road trip that you take. If you're focused on your conversation, you're gonna miss stuff that's on the side of the road. If you're focused on the side of the road, you're gonna miss stuff in front of you, or maybe even behind you. You gotta every once in a while just take in the view on all sides.
It's like quite interesting to me. I'm really curious about the game. It sounds like one of the games that me, you, and Top Gun Bunny talked about, like that we would make, where it was like a truck simulator, but there was like going to be like a murder mystery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of the reviews that really stuck out to me is the fact that it called it an acid trip.
Yeah. There's been
I've never had an acid trip, but I know people who have. It's not fun. So it kind of makes me a little worried when they use that kind of description for a game like this. But I guess they're looking more for the oddity behind what an acid trip could possibly hold, rather than the absolute horror that could be behind it. So it's an interesting set of words, and it's an interesting sort of game. So it might work to its advantage.
So someone's put it quite nicely. It's a first-person Kentucky Route Zero with colourful graphics. So if you've played Kentucky Route Zero, and I've played like, what was it, four of the five releases of it. It's like I get where they're coming from now with that description. Someone has said it's sublimely directed and voice acted. So it's if it's completely voice acted, that's quite nice as well. But yeah, it is 10% off right now at £9.89. Unfortunately, there's only 8 user reviews, so we don't have a score.
There's another one of those games that had a lot of like attention on like YouTube. People like talking about like, oh, new trailer, look at this, what's this, and hasn't gotten much attention yet. But yeah, I've just kind of seen this one around. And it's out. And the only negative reviews I saw, it's only negative because they were talking about spoiler stuff, which I'm not going to talk about here. And so, like, some folks don't seem really opposed to where the narrative goes. So I'm really curious what people end up thinking about as they check it out. So, final game for Thursday is Tanuki Justice.
Tanuki Justice is an action-packed run-and-gun, but with shurikens platformer. Take on the role of a cute yet ruthless raccoon and take out various foes, charging you from every angle. Play alone, or for double the fun, invite a friend, for there are many challenges to overcome together.
This is retro in a way I'm not super fond of. So it's not the art assets itself, it's the color usage. Like, this is a particular date and time when this sort of color combination was the norm in a lot of games. I'm not fond of it. Like,
oh, you mean like the 90s? Yeah,
I'm not fond of the sort of 90s. It's like, look, you have access to more colors. Please use them. Like, some of these combinations, I like retro, I do, but sometimes you can just go a little too true retro. The gameplay looks fine, that said. The gameplay looks fine. It's got some interesting looking bosses and such. But, these colors I really don't like.
I, on the other hand, love how bright it is.
It is very bright. Yeah.
I love the bright, I happen to appreciate the color palette that they've used for this. It seems to me like it's something that used to be an arcade cabinet and then was refurbished for console. That's what it reminds me of, which is an interesting style that they've gone for. Again, I like it. I think it's pretty. I enjoy the aspect of it. But, everybody's got an opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. unfortunately, I was looking. It's only got 5 reviews. Again, it just came out on Thursday. There are going to be bugs.
Yeah.
A lot of people have complained that there are some bugs. Like the double jump doesn't work, or they get stuck somewhere with no way out, which seems to be like a soft lock in the game or something. Again, if you're just picking this up and you're going to put up a review, try to be a little understanding. Before you put the review up, if you're complaining about bugs, don't put it in the review.
Yeah.
Send it to the devs.
Put it in the discussions, because it's like, especially if it's like just come out now, and if you put it in the discussions, the dev might see it like quick, fix it for you. Whereas if you put it in the reviews, that's it. That's not helping the dev at all, especially because that's a markup against them, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a shame.
Other than that, it seems like it's a really, really cool game. It's got that precision platform that I'm really bad at. And this seems like it's going to rouse a lot of nostalgia and a lot of gamers that pick this up, especially if they're older gamers, such as ourselves. I call us older, but we're not old. We just happen to remember a lot because we went through a lot. I think it's going to hit a lot of the nostalgia factor for some of the gamers that might pick it up, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I like the I like the way it looks. It's like, it reminds me when I used to like play video games with my brother back when we were but nippers. So it definitely brings that back for me. And it's it's cute. I like another raccoon. Lots of raccoons now.
Lots of raccoons.
Love it. And it's 20% off right now at £9.11. I'm not really one for precision platformers though, but this looks like a lot of fun.
Yep. Next up is Mark and Laura, Partners in Justice.
Call your partner and become the best detective duo in this co-op adventure. Gather evidence, question the suspects, and point out their contradictions. Cooperation is key, as neither of you have the full picture of the case. Play on 2 devices, local or remotely. All you need is a voice connection.
Oh, this is kind of like Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, or this is kind of a subgenre where you have like the asymmetrical co-op thing going on.
Yeah, like TikTok, A Tale for Two. Because that's great. There's only one like niggle that I have, and that is the setting. I know you're like questioning like suspects or whatever, but the backgrounds are just like not very interesting. So it's either you're looking at a file or you're looking at like these very samey looking rooms, which is a shame. It would be like maybe more interesting if it was like you were conducting like questioning at like people's homes or something. Like, well, we'll just pop around, just to ask a few questions. Wonder if we could do that right now, ma'am. Like a lot of F&V detective games that that I play, because it's just like especially if you the animation isn't like full on, it makes it for much more interesting visually. That's my only gripe.
Yeah, it's a very narrow. It's a certain set of rooms that it's set in, and that's kind of a more narrow environment that can kind of get boring. But if you're playing with someone, you might be just more focused on like figuring out the cases. I do wonder how much replay value there would be, because
I guess I'm thinking the only replay value there would be is if you happen to get it wrong and you want to get it right, or if you get it right and you want to see what happens if you get it wrong. It doesn't seem like there would be a whole lot of replay. The only thing that would probably add more to this is maybe DLC or expansion updates that add more cases to for you and your partner to follow along. And honestly, I'm intrigued by the new spin of the co-op that it gives. You know, you're both sitting there, you're both getting different information for you to compare and contrast. To your complaint about it, Rody, about the background and stuff, this seems to be like the two officers that you and your partner play are station officers rather than field officers. So, you know, they've got the preliminaries from the investigation out in the field, and they're just now trying to sort it out and try to find the real facts in the case to kind of pin the suspect and figure out what's really going on.
Yeah. It's a shame that they've gone down that route, though. That's the thing. I think they could have done gone down a different route, but oh well. But I also noticed that someone in the reviews has put fun game but terrible translation.
No.
We laughed at a lot of the lines for how awkward they were written. Developers, please get a proper translation.
And yes, indeed, this is not made by American devs. This is developed by Deep Monolith, which is based out of Italy. So there might be some awkward wording then.
But saying that, it is 30% off right now, and it's £2.79. So yeah, it's like, I think this might be a fun one to pick up, and you know, it's so cheap. It's like, you know, a nice little thing to play with a friend, or you know, a roommate or a partner.
Yep, $3.49 USD, and it seems to be about 2 hours ish long. So that's an afternoon evening for what, $7? So $7 to play with someone. That's not bad. Next up is Emily is Away, our final game, actually.
Yeah, Emily is Away, but with a heart.
Yes.
Emily is a brand new story set on an old new social media. Customize your face Nook profile, send some friend requests, and determine the outcome of your senior year.
I have mixed emotions about this one because I remember Facebook when it first came out. I was there. I also remember MySpace. Here I go dating myself. But
I had a MySpace.
I still have a MySpace. I think I logged into it maybe a decade and a half ago. But anyway, I've got mixed feelings about this. When I first started my online profiles and stuff like that, you know, I wasn't very popular. People weren't nice to me. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. Shocker, I know. So the fact that you're setting up an account and that, you know, you're probably going to be popular and you're going to be getting in touch with old friends again and stuff like that, I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. And for me, this seems like it's going to bring up depressive thoughts for me because of what I've experienced. Again, that's what I've gone through. Some people may love the game. Some people may absolutely enjoy stuff like this. Me? No, not so much. I'm going to stay away from this one.
So, I've played the previous two iterations of this game. So, the other two games were on using aim. So, the thing is, it is about the conversations that you have with people. The other two were about on aim, and it's usually a love interest or two love interests that you have, and you may be trying to, you know, either go for one or the other, and the drama that ensues on this. So I imagine this is pretty much the same sort of thing, except they've taken it over to Facebook. So, and instead of you typing out things, you're just basically bashing the keyboard to get out the sentence out quick enough. It's like, and it's like you're talking to a second person. We have another message up from another person, and they're like, "Are you talking to somebody else?" And it's like, it's like, I'm having issues here and you're not paying attention to me, and I'm like, I'm losing them. So it's like this is a stress simulator, which is what it is. It's about young people's sort of emotional turmoil that they're going through with like within their like social groups or whatever. The last game I played, the Emily is a way to. It's like one person I befriended, or my girlfriend or whatever that I first befriended. She says, I heard you went out the other night and you had a drink. And it was like, yeah. And he says, but you said to me you were teetotal. How could you lie to me like this? How can I trust anything you're ever going to say again? And it was like, sorry. So yeah, this is the kind of writing that you would possibly be in for when you play this. That's the only thing I have to worry about with this.
I have social anxiety to start off with. I'm staying far away from this game. No. There's a reason I left retail.
Yeah.
So it says it's 2008 and AIM is dead. Better sign up for this Facebook thing everyone's talking about. Wall posts, tagged photos, and poke wars. Craft your online persona through nostalgia, inducing gameplay. Chat with friends. That's the main bulk of the game. What it's going to be is chatting with those friends. Everything your character says is up to you. Build up your relationships up, or burn your friend group to the ground. Choose your path. Emily features multiple branching paths, unique conversations, and different endings, all of them depending on the choices you make. This game tries to trip you up. If it's going to like the previous ones, they're going to try and trip you up at some point, so that there's this massive bust up between something ridiculous, as always.
I mean, teenagers.
Yeah. The thing is, like, when I was growing up, I never had those like stupid bust ups about stuff. I think so. I made sure I hung out with people who were that ridiculously emotional. So yeah, but anyway. This is nearly has 500 reviews and it's at 97% positive.
I basically made all my mistakes on social media and then deleted all of my old social media accounts, because it's like, because I feel like it's a general rule, folks. If you're gonna have a social media account before you're 18, always delete it. Like, delete it after you turn 18, and then delete it again when you turn 21. Just advice.
Yeah, but see, your advice is flawed, because anything that's on the internet is there forever.
It is somewhat there forever, but just delete it. Just really do. Like, do whatever you can to just delete it. Just leave teenage internet you behind. Like, just leave it behind. Get rid of it.
I'd say
especially 20 years down the road.
Yeah.
I'd say this is like clocking in around like 4 to 5 hours. But obviously, if you want more playthroughs, try not to get tripped up, but the devs will trip you up. That's the whole point of this. It's a lot longer, but there's replay value. But again, it's £7.90.
Yeah. Well, should I say the dev Kyle Seeley, who is based out of Boston, Massachusetts, is the dev. Yep, and that wraps up our games for the week. So, now of course the big question is, what was your very best of the week? What game stood out the most to you? Which one left the strongest impression, or which one are you like, well, I'm buying that game? So, Happy Kitty. Oh, are you frozen? I think Happy Kitty's frozen again. So, Rhodey, let us know what your best of the week is for now.
So, I'm going to go with one from the Catchup, and then maybe one or two from the recent list. I go for Röki for the press.
You're back.
First
Hi.
list.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sorry.
No problem.
But so it's. I think the main issue I have with it is like the price. The price of it is just like a little. It's it's too much. It's like going for double A price, and yeah, that's not my life right now. So I would definitely wait for like a massive sale. It's not like one. It's also not one I'm like super excited I need to play right now. The recent release list, Darkside Detectives I've already bought that and playing it currently. So yeah, that's one I'm absolutely saying definitely buy this. If you love point and click games, definitely pick this one up because it's so good. The one that is on my wish list, or the couple of them that are on my wish list, is Chicken Homes. I'm definitely curious about that point and click game, and Rain on Your Parade. That's, I think, another great one that is just so many sort of like new different things that are going on with it. It's just it's not just like one thing. It's just like, oh, you got to crap on everyone, but there's so many different like tasks and everything like that. I think it will keep you entertained for a while.
And Rain on Your Parade just has a way of making me want to smile. All right, so Happy Kitty, what was your best of the week?
So I've kind of got 4 because I couldn't pick one out of the new releases.
No, that's great. No, tell us your chosens.
Well, first off, for my catch-up, it's going to have to be CARRION. Obviously, keep calm and carry on tearing people apart. That one is just so fun to watch, and I imagine it would be so fun to play. And it's along the lines of Rain on Your Parade, except if you're really having a bad day, like a really bad day, and you just want to kill all humans, go for CARRION. To my next favorite, Rain on Your Parade, if you're just having a bad day and you just want to mess with somebody's day just to make you feel better, go with that one. But, both of them are along the same lines. If you're having a bad day, that'll pick you right up. For that, I can't fault any games that are going to uplift your mood. The other two is Darkside Detective, A Fumble in the Dark. I've got to play those. I will probably start working more on an expansive list of my storytime games to play over the summer. And of course, Chicken Holmes. That one looks adorable, and I can't wait to see what it has in store for its players. It's probably going to be a short game, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that if it's got the story and it's got the material to hold your attention and keep you occupied while you played and entertained. Can't forget the entertainment.
I have to say one more thing about Chicken Homes. The developer did answer something to someone in the reviews, because someone said, "Oh, it's a shame that it is so short because I had such a great time with it." And the developer did say that they were actually thinking of expanding it and making it a bigger game. So that's something to look forward to.
That's good.
Definitely.
Yeah. And let me see, for my top, so out of the catch-up, I think of the catch-up games, I think the one that most interests me is Othercide. But then of the games from this week, it's gonna sound kind of similar. Straight up winner of the games this week for me was Rain on Your Parade. Just makes me smile. It's going on my wish list. I gotta get this game and try it out, because it just looks good, clean fun. Good, clean fun. I would call this a goose-like, so like Goose Game. I think that's what all these games should be called, would be goose-likes. Basically, the mischief games, or whatever the genre would be called. But yeah, Rain on Your Parade, just absolutely out there. With honorable mentions to, of course, Darkside Detective series, which I need to check out both of those games. And probably a special shout out to Hobo Tough Life. I'm just just seems really intriguing thematically, so I wouldn't mind checking it out. But hands down, Raid on Your Parade won this week for me. And it seems like all three of us mentioned Raid on Your Parade, so I think it's the uncontested winner of the week. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Unbound Creation, thank you very much for your really fun little game that made us all smile. All right, with that, of course, in the chat, let us know what your favorite game of the week, and of course, down below, go ahead and chat there on YouTube. And before we go, let's just do the shout-outs. Happy Kitty, where can the internet find you? What are you up to, and what are your plans upcoming?
So you can find me over on twitch.tv/happy__kitty. At the moment until school ends in March, towards the May. Sorry, I get them confused. I apologize. I am a horrible person. Don't follow me. Thursdays are our Pathfinder sessions. We are doing the Adventure Path, Rise of the Rune Lords. We are currently in book 5 of 6, so we're getting close to the end. Hopefully we can survive. I came very close to dying a couple of weeks ago. That was fun. And when school lets out, I will be picking up my schedule. We'll be doing a lot of story-based games. Most of those games will probably last 1 to 2 sessions, unless they're extremely long and have a lot of content. So if you're into story-based games with other genres mixed into them, come check me out. I will be happy to have you along, and all of our kitties have very comfortable cat trees to sit in.
Yeah, and also her Discord has just the most excellent of cat memes, just all over the place. Most
Come
excellent.
join the cat memes. We always need more.
Nice.
What about you, Rhodey?
Oh, well, you can find me at twitch.tv/RhodeyPie. I need to get back into the FMV game, the Shapeshifting Detective. But when I'm not streaming, which is quite a lot these days, I'm going to try and finish more games on my Steam library. I'm going to finish Heartbeat. Even though I started the first case of Darkside Detective, I might save the rest of the cases or redo it on stream, because I just having such a great time with it. I don't want to share it with the viewers who were with me through the first Darkside Detective game. So yeah, it's just so much fun. I love the characters.
And by the way, I'm just curious, how is that progress? How many games do you got left?
Ooh, so I have completed 286 games, and I have on my library 746 games.
746.
Is 746 left or total?
Total.
Oh, okay. So
no, that's a nice chunk. That's a nice chunk.
So you've got 400, roughly in 420 or 400 plus left then.
Yeah. So I know it's like a chunk that I finished, but it's like I need to start cranking out getting the shorter games done and dusted. It's like, yeah, that's done.
This is
I don't know, you're getting awfully low. Sounds like you need more games.
And this is why Steam game players are Steam gamers are always like, I think the price should be lower. just because we have a lot of Steam players have a huge library of just games that have gradually gathered over time, and we haven't played them all. So I rarely look through my library and go oh, I don't know what I'm gonna play, because if I'm in a certain mood, there's gonna be something in there that I'm in the mood to check out. So yeah, that's another reason why we're always like, no, I think I'll wait for a sale.
Yeah.
And then the sales happens and our wallets cry.
My library
happy afterwards.
My library cries because it's just even more. It's just even more games. Oh no, I'm never gonna get through them all. Oh dear, I love it though.
So there. What will you be doing
Yeah. Well, as for me, I of course will be back here next week with more games and same bat channel, same bat time, and of course you can check out our Steam curator page right here, right in the chat, and of course it'll be down below on YouTube. And I am gradually getting that itch to get back to like doing regular video game streams. It's just kind of like having 2 weeks in a row where like the same things happen. It's just like scheduling that's been really difficult because it's like, oh no, and then this happens this week. Oh, okay, that Tuesdays are no, Wednesdays are no, Thursdays. So it's just interesting trying to schedule that out. But yeah, I am starting to get that itch where I just want to stream some games again. But at the very least, we'll be back next week. And, of course, to the folks on YouTube, thank you very much. Please comment below and let us know what your favorite games of the week were or if we missed anything. And, of course, join us back next week. See you next week.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe. Do that. Bye-bye.